My name is Vincent Piccini. I am a counseling school social worker here at Silver Run Elementary School.
Okay. How long have you been involved at the school?
I've been here since last April, so it's not even it'll be a year next month.
Okay. Describe a typical day in your role.
A typical day starts usually, we have a morning admin meeting, so I meet with myself, the other social worker, other counselors and admission staff to discuss how things are going, any ongoing issues or problems. Then it proceeds to doing a classroom check-ins where I check in with with all my classrooms and students. After doing the classroom check-ins, I have if any phone calls or emails, I have to meet with parents. I deal with that. Then it's meeting with students for individual counseling sessions. Hopefully getting some group work in. I deal with doing group work. After group work, then sometimes I get calls on the radio if there's any type of issues or things like that. I'm one of the people that respond to the issues to try to de-escalate the situations to keep the kids in the classroom. Among a litany of other things, paperwork gets thrown in there at some point, and then it's kind of like how my day goes for the most part.
So what do you think the strengths of the school are?
We have a very caring and staff that want to help the kids to succeed. They do. I think that we do the best that we can, and I think the staff is very good at their jobs. They do the best to try to make the kids feel welcome and try to get them to learn. Kind of think about covers. I think so far.
What areas could be improved, do you think?
I think that sometimes it could be certain areas, aspects at least, could be dealing with behaviors. There could be some different levels of improvement there because we have what they call positive behavioral intervention services that could, I think that could always use tweaking to kind of help motivate the kids to do better. A lot of times I think trying to get parents involved is a hard thing, and that's just, you're fighting in the community and the system and things like that. I think that could be kind of improving parent involvement could be improved a little better.
What changes, if any, have you observed since you started at the school?
Just in some procedures of how we do things, I've noticed. Now, like I said, I'm kind of relatively new, so I'm still learning the ropes myself. But just the way we're doing it, the beginning of the year compared to last year, the principal wants us to be in the hallway more, but present more. Where I guess previously a lot of times people were in their offices and just doing what they had to do. Which I came from an all behavior school, so I was constantly in and out of hallways and classrooms and doing things like that. So I think that was a good change that it shows that you're more available, more ready to do things. I think that's kind of
Yeah. So what do you think supports student learning the most?
A well balanced, I think, team. I think you need to have good staff in school. I think you need to have support at home, help support good balance student learning, because when they have the home support with the school, they kind of get in on both aspects of it. I think just showing the students that you care and trying to make lessons as engaging as possible. I know sometimes that's not always easy, but that kind of seems like it could be. I think it would help. It helps that out.
What challenges do you think that students face?
At this level, there's a lot of. I think they face a lot of different challenges. I think because of where the school's located, there's the socioeconomical challenges they face. The fact that sometimes school's not prioritized by the families. Sometimes attendance. It's hard to get some kids at school in attendance. That could be one of the challenges they face. At this age, even too, learning to regulate their emotions is kind of hard. I mean, I know for me personally, that's what I do a lot of is, teaching kids skills to regulate their emotions so they can be successful in school and hopefully outside of school too.
Uh, what programs or supports are there to help the students?
I know in this school they have, they have the access to myself and the other counselor. We're always here for them. I know that they have a club after school, Club 21, where it's just like, they offer like, you know, places where they can do their work after school, and on top of that, they have you like do other fun activities that students have, behavior built-in behavioral plans. Like they have a time where they can do like fun stuff as well. If they do positive things, the they use a lot of iReady and things like all these different programs are there to help offer different ways for them to learn materials and things like that.
How do you communicate with the students, families, or staff?
I communicate with the families. Usually, I'm either meeting them in person, over the phone, via email. I'm one of the a lot of point of contacts. Families and teachers usually communicate with them through Dojo, where they can send them messages as well as like phone calls. Sometimes, primarily for me, we may have to go out to the home and check, do home visits. You see teachers too. I have like an open door policy to teachers, so if we have issues, we do regular communications. There's PLCs involved. I go around and talk to the teachers every day for most of them, especially if I have kids with ongoing issues. I'm usually in and out of the room multiple times.
How can relationships in the school community be improved?
I think that there's always room for improvement, because I think that we could we need to feel like we support each other more. Sometimes I think what one grade level sometimes doesn't always transition to what the next grade level is doing. So I think sometimes maybe a little cross bridge collaboration that way would be a good thing. In the school, I think that there's always room for improvement for community relations with the parents and stuff like that. It's kind of sometimes hard to get them to buy in, so it's like trying to find stuff to get parents to be more active and things like that.
So if you could implement one change, what would it be?
If I could implement one change, I think that could always use more help. I could say that. I really think, like, at least in my department, we could use like more, another counselor, social worker, somebody to help out, because things tend to get a lot more hectic, and and things sometimes fall to the wayside, and you're like prioritizing what's first, what's not. So.
Yeah. If you could, where do you see the school in 5 years?
Hopefully in 5 years, I would like to see like more student growth, less attendance issues. I think that's our big thing, is getting kids to come to school. So hopefully in 5 years we can figure out a way to make a change that where we have kids, maybe less behaviors. So.
How can students contribute to school improvement?
Students have to buy into the school, and I think students, I think that them being part of different like programs, and wanting to do well at school, I think that they wanting them wanting to be here and like find the fun in it, and see that it's like a community. I think that would help improve school. Could improve school a lot better for them.
So, lastly, is there anything else that you want to share?
No, not off the top of my head, I can't think. But thank you for taking.
Yeah.
Talking
Okay.
with me.
Well, thanks for doing the interview, and yeah.